My name is Mr. Doctor. We'll be looking at motion under gravity. So, or uniform acceleration, meaning constant acceleration, Okay, motion under gravity, meaning uniform acceleration or constant acceleration. So, what's A? A under this will be G, which is equal to which is equal to 9.8, or we have G, which is equal to 10. G equals to 9.8 approximately what? To 10. And also, let's take note of this three equation of motion that we have V equals to U plus AT. We have V squared equals to U squared plus 2AX. And the third one we have S equals to UT plus 1/2 AT squared. These are the three equations of motion that we have, okay? V equals to U plus AT, V squared equals to U squared plus 2AS, and S equals to UT plus 1/2 AT squared, where A is gravity, that is acceleration due to gravity, which is 9.8 or 10 meter per second square. 9.8 meter per second square or 10 meter per second square. Okay? Note this by heart. You have to know this by heart, that when you have, this is ground, this is the ground, okay? When a ball is what? Is thrown upward from the ground, moving upward, the displacement, that is the movement, will be positive. The movement will be positive. Then coming downward, the movement will be negative. Positive and negative, okay? So what will be the what? The displacement in moving upward, that will be plus x, while the displacement coming downward will be minus x, okay? So what will happen to what? To initial velocity? The initial velocity will be positive u, okay? While coming downward, the initial velocity will be negative u. That's minus u. Coming from the ground, moving from the ground, going upward, and G is always minus 10, or minus 9.8. Gravity coming downward, okay? Gravity acting in the what? Opposite direction to what? To the movement of the body. So that's minus 10. Or minus 8, or minus 8. Question 1. A ball is thrown upward from the ground with a speed of u. Find A. Time taken to reach the maximum height. B. The maximum height attained by the what? By the ball. Solution. We're told that a ball is thrown upward from the ground with a speed of u. Find A. The time taken to reach the maximum height. B. The maximum height attained by what? By the ball. The maximum height attained by the ball. The maximum height attained by the ball. Okay? Now we're told that a ball, this is the ball, is thrown upward. Is thrown upward. Okay? So moving up, that will be plus u. From here, moving up, that will be u. This is the ground. From the ground level. From the ground level. From the ground level. That's u. Okay? What will be the value of A? Acceleration going upward. Gravity is always what? Minus. That's minus 10 meter per second square. Okay? Minus 10 meter per second square. What else again are we giving? We're asked to find what? The maximum, the time taken to reach the maximum height. The time taken to reach the maximum height. At maximum height, V equals to 0. At maximum height, V is equals to 0. So the time taken to move from here, that's the time, small t. So T is unknown. T is unknown. We have V to be equals to 0, A equals to minus 10 meter per second square. T is unknown. And we have U to be 1 to be positive. Okay, recall that we have what? That we have V equals to U squared plus what? Plus AT. Okay? So what's V? V is what? V is 0. V is equals to 0. At maximum, velocity equals to 0. So this equals to what's U? U is plus U. Okay? Plus acceleration. Acceleration always negative. That's minus G times T. Okay? So this will give us 0. That will be what? Equals to U minus GT. Minus GT. So we can have GT equals to U. So T equals to U over G. So this is the time taken. The time taken to reach the maximum height. This is the time taken to reach the maximum height. The time taken to reach the maximum height. Question B. The maximum height attained by the ball. The maximum height attained by the ball. That is the maximum height. The displacement attained by the ball from the ground level down to here. That is x. Since it's going upward, that will be plus. So s is unknown. That is what we have to look for. We have u to be equals to u. That's plus u. Okay? So acceleration is equals to minus g. Gravity always minus. And we have v to be equals to 0. These are the parameters. Okay? Recall that what? That v squared equals to u squared plus 2s. Okay? So what's v squared? That's 0. 0 squared equals to u is what? Is u. That's plus u. Plus u squared plus 2 into brackets. A is minus g times x. So x is what? The maximum height attained, which is equals to h maximum, which is unknown. That's what the maximum height attained. Maximum height attained. So this will give us what? 2gh, that's 0, equals to u squared minus 2ghm. So we can have 2ghm equals to u squared. So hm equals to u squared over what? Over 2g. So this is the maximum height. This is the maximum height. This is the maximum height attained. This is the maximum height attained. A ball is thrown upward from the ground with a speed of u. Find A, the time taken to reach the maximum height. B, the maximum height attained by the ball. Okay? The maximum height from the ground level. Okay, V equals to 0. A is negative. A is always minus coming downward. Okay? That's minus 10. T is unknown. U, T. So using this, V equals to U plus AT. So V is equals to 0 at maximum height. Velocity is equals to 0 there. There was U. U is U, that's plus U, going upward, plus into bracket minus G. Minus G, A is minus G, that's minus G times T. Times T, T is unknown. Take this on to the other side, okay? It becomes what? GT become plus, that's GT equals to U. May T be subject to transformer, we have U over G. Okay, the second one now, we have to find the maximum height attained. The maximum height attained, that is the displacement of the ball to move from where? From the ground level down towards to this height, okay? Which is HM, that's the displacement. So, this is this unknown, U is this, A is minus the V is equals to 0, maximum, okay? So recall that V squared equals to U squared plus 2AL. V is equals to 0 at maximum. 0 squared is 0, U squared plus 2. A is what? Minus G. HM, S is H. Okay? This to the other side. Get our final answer. A ball strewn upward from a tower of height 20 meters, strewn upward from tower. A ball is dropped from a tower of height 20 meters. Find A. Find A. The time taken to reach the ground. Time taken to reach the ground. B. The velocity of the stone. Velocity of the stone just before hitting the ground. The velocity of the stone just before hitting the ground. This is the tower. A tower of height 20 meters. And a stone is dropped. A stone is what? Is dropped. A stone is dropped. At this point, U will be equals to what? 0. Take note. Initial velocity will be equals to 0. At maximum height, final velocity will be equals to 0. Okay? It's dropped. It's coming down. Acceleration is minus G. It's coming down. It's coming downward. Okay? Which is equals to minus 10 meters per second squared. Okay? Then what will be our S? Displacement, that's S, will be equal to what? Minus 20 meters. Minus 20 because it's coming what? Downward is minus, is negative. Coming downward is minus, okay? What are we have to find? We have to find what? The time taken to reach what? To reach the ground. The time taken to reach the ground. The time taken to reach the ground. Recall that what? That S equals to UT plus R AT squared. Recall that S equals to UT plus R AT squared. So what's S? S is minus 20, negative 20 equals to U is what? Is 0. That's 0 times T plus 1 over 2 times A is minus 10 times T squared times t square. That gives minus 20 equals to 0. Everything that will give 0. Plus times minus, that's minus 2225. That's 5t squared. Okay? Minus 20 equals to minus 5t squared. So we can have t squared to be equals to minus 20 divided by minus 5. Minus and minus will go. That becomes 4. So t will be equals to plus or minus square root of 4. Plus or minus 4, which is equals to plus or minus 2. Therefore, t equals to plus 2 seconds. So meaning that the time taken to what? To reach the ground is 2 seconds. Is 2 seconds. 2 seconds. B. Part B. Part B. The velocity of the stone just before hitting the ground. The velocity of the stone just before hitting the ground. Look at the diagram again. We have a tower. The height of the tower is 20 meters. 20 meters. And a stone is dropped from that height. Okay? At that point, u will be equals to 0. We have t. T is what? T is 2 seconds. A is equals to minus J equals to minus 10 meters per second square. Okay. The velocity, that's V, unknown. The velocity of the ball just before hitting the ground. The velocity just before hitting the ground. Before hitting the ground. Yes, ground. Okay. The velocity just before hitting the ground. Recall that we have v squared to be equals to u squared plus 2ax. V squared equals to u is 0. That's 0 squared. Plus 2 into bracket a is minus 10. Minus 10 times s. S is what? S equals to minus 20. Downward. Coming downward, that's minus 20. Okay? So 0 minus times minus, that's plus. Everything will give what? 20. That's 400. V squared equals to 400. V equals to plus or minus square root of 400. That's equals to plus or minus 20. Okay? So the velocity V, therefore V equals to minus 20 meters per second. It is minus because it's coming downward, so it's minus. So it's minus 20 meters per second. That's velocity. The ball is drawn from a tower of height 20 meters. Find the time taken to reach the ground. B. The velocity of the stone just before. Velocity of the ball just before hitting the ground. Before hitting the ground. Before hitting the ground. (5 meters). Option C. 35 meters. Option D. 40 meters. 40 meters. 40 meters. Solution. Okay. The first drop is, that's the third drop. We have the fifth drop. That's the fifth drop. Okay. This will be the fourth. We're told that the sixth drop is about coming out. About coming out. That's the sixth drop. sixth drop. Then we have the fourth drop. Okay, the fourth drop. At an interval of 1 second, meaning from here to here, 1 second. From this to this, another 1 second. From this to this, from this to this, we have another 1 second. Another 1 second. Okay? So we know that from this down to what? From the tab down to the third drop is H3. From here down to this is the fifth, that will be H5, the fifth drop. The fifth drop, that's H5. Okay, the difference between them now, difference will be equals to H3 minus H5. The third drop. At this point, V, U will be equals to 0. At this point, U equals to 0. Okay? The third drop now, U is 0. We have S to be equals to UT plus 1 over 2 AT squared. Okay? The time taken, the time for I3, that is for the third drop, is this plus this. 1 plus 1 plus 1. That's 3. Okay? So this will be equals to U is 0, that's 0, times T plus 1 over 2 times A is minus G, that's minus 10, times T squared, that's 3 squared. This is H3. So H3 equals to 0. This is minus 10 times 9. Minus 5 times 9, that's minus 45 meter. That's minus 45 meter. Minus 45 meter. Therefore, H3 equals to minus 45 meter. Okay? What about the fifth drop? X equals to UT plus 1 over 2 AT squared. Now H5, the fifth drop. H5 equals to U. U is 0. 0 times T plus 1 over 2 times minus 10 times the time taken, the time from what? The sixth drop to what? To the fifth drop is what? Is 1. That's 1 square. Everything that will give you 0 minus 5 times 1. That will give you minus 5 meter. That's H5. Therefore, the difference will be H5, H3 minus H5. That would be what? H3 is what? Is 45 meter minus 5 meter. And that gives what? 40 meter. Option what? Option D. The minus indicates the direction of what? Of the water. That's the direction. Is to indicate the direction. Is to indicate the direction. That is coming downward. Is to indicate the direction. The direction of the water. The last one on the list. That's question 4. Question 4. Stone is projected. The stone is projected. Is projected upward. Is projected upward from a height from the height of 20 meters with the speed of 5 meters per second. Find A. The maximum height attained. B. The time taken to reach the maximum height. The time taken to reach the maximum height. The time taken to reach the maximum height. Solution. A tower of what? Of height 20 meters. A stone is projected upward from the height with U of what? Of plus 5 meters per second going upward. So it's going to be plus. That's positive. Moving up. Plus 5 meters per second. The maximum height attained. The maximum height attained. And the maximum height, V equals to 0. The maximum height, meaning from here to here, that's the height. Then the maximum height from where? From the ground. From the ground level. From the ground. From the ground. From here to here is, let's call this to be H1. From this to this, let's call this to be H2. So H total, which is what the maximum height, will be equals to 20 plus H1. H1 is unknown. H1 unknown. Acceleration is always minus G, moving upward. That's minus 10 meters per watt per second squared. Okay. So V is equals to 0. We have what? We have S equals to what? S equals to UT plus 1 over 2 AT squared. Time is unknown. Time is unknown. The time to reach the maximum height is unknown. Then we can look for T. T unknown. So we know that V equals to U plus AT. What's V? V is 0 at maximum equals to U. U is 5. Minus that plus A is minus 10 times T. Okay? So that will give us what? 10T equals what? Equals 5. So T equals to 5 upon what? Upon 10. That's 0.5 second. Or 1 over 2 seconds. Okay? Then from there we can have our U to be what? U is 5. 5 times T. T is 0.5. 0.5 plus 1 over 2 times minus 10 times T squared. That will be 0.5 squared. Okay? This will give us what? That will give 2.5 minus this and this will give 5. That was minus 5 times 1 over 4. That is 0.25. That's 0.25. Okay? So that will give what? 2.5 minus 0.25, that's 25, that's 5, 10, that's 2 points, 2.0 0 plus 1, that's 1.2, 1.25. So 1.25, that's 2.5 minus 1.25, that will give what? 1 point, that's 5 meter. So 1.25 meter, that's the height. So H1 is 1.25 meter. So the total height now will be equal to what? 20 plus 1.25 meter, and that will give what? 21.25 meter. So the total height is, the height from the ground is 21.25 what? Meter. So the time taken to what? To reach the ground next, the time taken to reach the ground, you can pause the video and try it. Thank you and God bless.